Welcome to the End Goal Podcast. My name is Arish, and this podcast is a chronicle of my life successes, failures, and lessons as I work towards my end goal. Here, I share stories of my life and those in my circle as we work towards our goals daily. In each episode, I hope to bring you lessons and questions that you can apply to your life and to your goals. I greatly appreciate your presence here, and I hope we can create something genuine through this podcast. Please enjoy today's episode.
Good morning. I hope you had a great week. I hope you got some stuff accomplished. I hope you got one step further towards your goals. My week was good and bad. It was weird, right? Because I obviously post content every single day. I go to my job, whatever it is. I come home. I'm trying to read, but also record, edit, whatever it is. And it was really weird because I I don't see growth the way I expect to see growth. So I'm trying to find growth in different ways in order to help myself feel better about not growing as fast as I think I should be, or think I could be, or think I want to be. Just as an example, right? I was posting this week. I posted like three different types. I post multiple types of content, whether it's verbal, trendy audio with text on the screen, or high edited, or whatever it is, right? And it was like on one platform something's working and something different's working on a different platform. On, I think it was YouTube, I posted something the other day. It was just me talking with the mic at my face. It got 0 views for like the first 5.5 hours, and then hour 6 hit. YouTube gave it another push, and then went to 2K. So I don't get that. Like I don't understand what's happening. Like I don't know why the first 6 hours did nothing, but then the extra push got it to 2K. Like who did it push it to? And things like that. And I don't know like what am I supposed to post, right? I can post that, get 2K, and then post something else and get 68 views. Same type of video, me just talking. So it's a really big struggle like that. But like I said, I do see like I take my wins when I can and keep pushing and trying to make the stuff that I want to make and talk to you guys about, regardless. Um, but that's not the topic of today's video. The topic of today's video is setting the right goal for yourself. And I like to call it, what are you built for? One of my favorite phrases that's come out of the past like half year is I'm built different. It's just a really fun phrase to say just in general to for anything. Like for anything. It's like what are you, it's like I'm built different. It's such a funny phrase to say, but then if you strip away the comedy part out of it, it is such an interesting phrase to think about in terms of yourself. Like seriously, what are you built for? So the idea is that setting the right goal for yourself means realizing what are you built for? What kinds of goals are you built for? But there's just, I get that we have high aspirations of ourselves in terms of like this is what I could be. But I want you to think about what are you built for right now? What is your capacity right now? And I think that's one of the biggest things is realizing kind of who am I at this moment and what can I do right now and what's reasonable and realistic for me right now in order to then get to this other version of me or other goal that I've set for myself that is not within my capacity or reach right now. What is that I can do and accomplish that'll put me a step closer to that? I have gone through a lot of this in the past in terms of I realized, I'll start with the easiest one. I just can't gain weight. Bro, I cannot gain weight to save my life. I really cannot. And I know, right? It's like, oh, you just have to eat more. You just have to eat more. You just have to eat more. Honestly, I could stuff my face all day, and I could gain weight, but then I would be physically and emotionally miserable. Because I did that for 4 months back in 2019. I had a plan. Every morning I ate 3 eggs with peanut butter toast every single morning. Lunch was ground turkey, sweet potatoes, broccoli, or some other vegetable. Dinner was either chicken, broccoli, and rice, or a tilapia, broccoli, and rice. And then I had either shakes or other snacks throughout the day to supplement to then hit whatever goals I was trying to hit. And I did that for 4 months straight, and I only went from 125 pounds to 130. And it took me 4 months and a couple of weeks to hit 130. And once I hit 130, I hit my goal, right? I was like, this sucks. This is awful. I hate this. Like, that me doing that was the single best example to myself of like, dude, honestly, there are some things that I know you want in life that you're just not going to get at this point in time, and just forget about it. Just forget about it. I completely, after that event, I just stopped really caring about my weight, and then I just switched mental gears to, let's just get our strength up. I mean, I'm a calisthenics athlete anyway, right? I don't need to weigh heavier. I don't need to be bigger. I just need to be relatively stronger. And then I would work on like my absolute strength after that. So it was kind of doing something that made me realize I'm not built to be a big guy. Like my body type is not a big, it's not a big person, right? I don't have the insertions to gain muscle where excuse me. I don't have the insertions to gain the muscle where I want. I don't have the body type that holds more weight. I don't have the bone structure that is bigger, that holds more weight, right? I'm a lanky. I originally was like a lanky dude. Now I'm a lean dude, and I just need to stay lean. And then as I get older, if my body kind of gains more weight to fill whatever frame I'm trying to fill at that point in my life, I'm just gonna let it happen, right? So now my goal is just to be a better relative strength athlete when my wrist heals, that is. So that was my first example in terms of what determining what you're built for. I have seen 100% right. I do get it right. I've seen people who are super super skinny and bony go to be massive bulking behemoths, and it's possible, and that's great for them. What I'm saying is I was not built for the life of like gorge yourself with food every single day, hit the gym X amount of times a day, hit the weights, etc. Right? I just wasn't built for that. As me eating a lot during the day aggressively affected my workouts, right? Because I'm not an absolute strength athlete. I don't push weight. I am the weight and I move myself. But in order for me to move myself, I need to feel light. I need to feel weightless. I need to feel feathery. I can't feel weighed down and heavy because I would just feel awful at that point. I was sluggish, I was lethargic, etc. So that was example number one. And then I want to lead this into asking you, what is your current capacity and what is not? This is something that I've told myself a lot of times, and I refuse to. This is where I'm stubborn. I'll be honest, right? This is where I'm stubborn. I refuse to accept the fact that my current capacity is what it is. I try to force it, knowing full well that I'm just not built for that right now, right? I'm not someone who has unlimited time to do everything that they want to do. I'm not someone who who has the capacity to sacrifice my sleep in order to stay up later and get things done, right? I've been working on the same YouTube video for the past 2-3 weeks now because I originally recorded it once. I didn't check the audio for it until like the day I was planning to record it. So the day I was planning to record it, I realized the audio sucked, was garbage. I had to throw the whole video away. I re-recorded it with better audio, and now I'm working on it. I've been editing it for the past couple of days now. But the idea was just that, I'm not someone who's like, oh, I need to get this video out. That means I have to stay up all night and I can't sleep to get this video out the next day. No, that's just not me right now. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe that's a good thing. Who knows, right? I'm trying to take advice from those who have come before me who've said, I wish I had taken care of my health instead of doing this back in the day when I was grinding or whatever it is, right? And some people are like, no, I don't wish I would have done that because I had to do that at that time in order to get to where I am right now. But at the same time, I just don't want to have to sacrifice certain things in order to get to the end goal. That sounds very privileged of me to say. That sounds very lofty of me to say. I think it's possible. I just want to prove that it's possible to you and to myself. So me understanding that, okay, you're not the kind of person who's going to make a video every single day. You're not the kind of person who's going to be able to edit every single day. I can't even read every single day. I wish I could read every single day, but there's days when it's just so jam-packed. All I can do is get 30 minutes of reading it at the end of the day. I'm good with that, right? I'm good with that. I do know that me not being able to read directly affects the content that I put out, because if I don't read, I can't make content about books the way I want to. What are you gonna do? It's accepting that. I've accepted my capacities there. I've accepted my limitations there. And I want to ask you, have you accepted your limitations currently in life? Have you accepted your limitations in what you are doing right now? Or are you stubborn and trying to fight against something that you may not be able to fight against? Because if you accept it, you can work around it. Just go around it. But if you keep trying to headbutt your way through, you're just going to be hitting a wall. You know what I mean? Next thing is when it comes to setting the right goals for yourself is, does this goal resonate with who you are as a person right now? The idea that we can be whoever we want to be is true, but at the same time, if you don't like who you are and you're trying to change yourself into somebody else, you need to understand that you are not that alter ego yet, right? You are still the person you are now. So trying to behave in a way that's not you is going to set you back, rather than making the small changes to then change who you are or change yourself over time. Let me give you an example, right? So a lot of times, say you're a shy, introverted person and you're trying to get out there, be a little bit more social, be a little bit more dynamic. Maybe you're trying to make conversations and get out of your shell and meet new people, etc. But the person you are right now just gets super anxious about it. You get super anxious, super scared to go out into public and meet strangers and talk to people and things like that, right? So you're not immediately going to go to a convention and talk to every single person you meet and lay your eyes on. You're just not going to do that. But what are you going to do? You can go to your local coffee shop, right? Maybe if someone's sitting there like reading a book or whatever, just like ask them about the book. Like ask them about the coffee they're drinking. Ask, can I maybe join you and talk to you for like 5 minutes? Something like that, right? It's that compared to the other scenario is super small, but it's these small events and small changes that are going to get you to where you want to go, right? So, and that event may or may not, but I believe that event would resonate with the current shy, anxious you, to help that person that you are currently in order to get to the confident, outgoing, dynamic you. Does that make sense? Another example I can give you, hopefully this one will be a little bit clearer, is myself. So I, growing up, was not a talkative person. I was not a outspoken person. I was not shy. I just didn't have a lot to say. So throughout the years, that just developed itself into a stay away and stay out of the conversation kind of, kind of like personality. Right now, me creating the content I'm trying to create, saying the things I'm trying to say, giving the lessons and the anecdotes and the stories that I'm trying to tell, that is the opposite of who I was as a child, as a juvenile, as a youth, you know? So I did not just one day wake up and think, I'm going to do all this at once. I had to make the small steps. First, it was in college, getting better with public speaking, joining the clubs, talking in front of people, etc., develop the confidence there in person. Then it transitioned to, trying to meet new people at work and being conversational, being genial. I still have a hard issue making conversations because I'm very comfortable with silence, to where I don't feel like I have the need to make a conversation and bring up new topics. Some people are just good at that. I'm not. But then that socialization then turned to, okay, can I talk to people online? Can I make these videos and talk to people online? How do I do that? That turned into, okay, camera presence. How do I talk to somebody? Looking at the camera, doing it more often, chatting with people online, etc. That then turned into the YouTube channel. That then turned into what I'm doing with you today, and trying to talk to you every single week about these things in my life. I could not just wake up and say, I'm going to be a content creator, or I'm going to be creating content online, because that was not the person that I was in high school and at the beginning of college and even in the middle of college. That's the person who I was developing myself to become right now. But that's not who I was then. Who I was then took the steps he could that resonated with him, joining the clubs, speaking, not public speaking, but like speaking out, like in your group presentations or whatever it is in college. I would be the one who would speak, because I would like to address a crowd and talk formally, informally, make jokes, all those things. I loved doing that, because also specifically because I scripted it. I would run through or I never typed it out. I would just run through the presentation in my head like 100 times until I knew what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it, who I wanted to say it to. those kind of things. So those kind of actions resonated with me at those points in my life until I'm here. And what resonates with me now in order to get to my next goal?
Hey friends, I just wanted to take a quick break in this episode to tell you guys about an amazing tool that I've been using to help shift my perspective on my life and my goals. This isn't sponsored, by the way, but I just really like the item and the product and I wanted to share it with you guys. So my question to you is, are you looking for a new perspective on life? Or are you looking for a new way to get motivated to get after your goals every day? So the My Life in Weeks poster is an interesting visual representation of the average lifespan. The shaded part is every week that I've lived thus far in my life, and the open unshaded squares are the weeks that I have left to live up until my expected passing of around age 88 is kind of the expected just average span. The reason why I like this poster and why I don't think it's as morbid as it sounds is because it gave me a new perspective on how to view my life. If you look at the poster a little bit more closely, years 0 through 23 were just the years of education in my life in my infant phase, right? I wasn't really doing anything with my life until I graduated and I started working at age 23. So starting from age 23 and up until age 25, which I am right now, I really only started my life for 3 years, which means I'm just in the infant phase of my life now, once again, and I have time to learn new things, try new things, and do new things. And I have so much more time left than I thought I had. I don't feel like I wasted 20 years of my life in a sense. I really just started 3 years ago. So that's how I view my life, is I'm just starting and I have so much more to do. If you're interested in getting a My Life in Weeks poster, check out the link in the video show notes and use code ENTRO at checkout to get 5% off your entire order. Once again, I want to reiterate, this isn't necessarily a sponsored segment. This episode is not sponsored, but it is just a product that I really enjoy, and I have the opportunity to be affiliated with this company to bring you guys this cool new tool, and I just really like it, and I thought maybe you guys would like it too.
That is such a hard question because going from where I was to now, so many more doors have opened up than I thought were available to me. So now my issue is decisions. What decisions do I make? What decisions resonate with me in order to choose my next goal? Or are these goals that I'm making the right ones for me? And I've always done things for me first before I do them for somebody else. That's just how I am. If it does not benefit me, I don't want to do it. When I was making my daily planners, I'll actually show you guys real quick. So when I was making my daily planners, right, I made them for myself before I made them for anybody else. And I said, what do I want it to look like? What do I want on it? How do I want it to make me feel? And I made it for myself before I made it for anybody else. I did the same thing with my journals. I did the same thing with my workout planner. And I'm going to do the same thing for my next goal and my next project, right? It has to serve me first before it serves anyone else. And so if it's serving me, and for me, that's a way of resonating with me, right? This goal serves me, therefore I resonate with this goal. Versus this goal does not serve me, I don't resonate with it at all. So I want to ask you, are your goals, or is the goal you're about to set resonating with you, with who you are right now, right? The you a year later might be able to do that, but the you now might not. It's a possibility, right? So does it resonate with you right now? Does it work for you right now? Are you built for it right now? Probably the last thing I want to talk to you about today is thinking about what your actual actions can be right now. You have a lot of us make very lofty, multi-layered goals for ourselves, and you have to pick at each layer at a time. If you try to pick at multiple layers at a time, you end up like just driving a stake into your foot and you can't move anywhere, you can't take any action. What do I mean by that? I hope that you achieve everything you want to achieve. But I know that you can't do everything at once. I'll give you an example from my life, right? I want to be able to interview really cool people in life, ask them questions, learn from them to apply to my own life, but also I want to be able to show the masses this person's story in a fun way. That's what I want to do, right? there's a lot in there. The first thing is I want to talk to multiple people. Bitch, I'm shy as fuck, okay? I am socially awkward as fuck. I cannot talk to people to save my life. It's very hard if I don't have something to say. And half the time, I pre-plan my conversations down to the sentence. Like I will pre-plan how I'm going to introduce myself to this person. I'm going to then try and predict multiple different things they could respond with, and then I'm going to develop responses to those responses that I was given and do a back and forth for about 3 to 4 exchanges, 5 to 6 exchanges. And I'm going to run through that thousands of times in my head before I talk to somebody. So I'm not the person who can sit down with somebody and ask them questions and interview them right now. I'm just not. I have to work on that. That's what this is. That's what this podcast is for, is to get my friends on here and practice talking to them and asking them questions and trying to make a fun atmosphere on this podcast, on this channel. The fun is probably only going to come with my interaction with other people. It's hard to be fun with this when I'm trying to talk seriously. I don't want to make light of certain things when trying to spin it in a serious tone, but I want to create a fun environment at some point. So then that's a different layer, is like, how can I create a fun environment? Well, you're not going to create a fun environment solo if your goal is to create a fun environment for people. So get people. It's the next thing. And then the thing after that is, oh, well, you want to like show these to like more the masses, quote unquote. Well, how do you get the masses? Well, I have to put it online. How are you going to put it online? Well, I have to create content and start putting it online and getting used to putting it online and trying to curate it and package it in a way that it gets to more people. How do I do that? We have to play the fucking algorithm. Okay, how do you do that? Well, you have to practice. You have to practice and learn what the algorithm wants from you. So when I talk about what layers I have to peel back right now, right? Current layer number 1 is figuring out how to get myself to the masses. If I can't get myself to the masses, how can I expect myself to get me and somebody else here to the masses, right? I have to learn the algorithm and learn how that works and be willing to put in the time there. And then layer 2 is, okay, now I have to practice talking to somebody that isn't a camera. Okay, well, I have to get somebody here. And by getting somebody here, I have to invite my friends out. I have to be comfortable with, them and me. I have to make an environment that's comfortable for them, to where they'll be able to talk to me and to the camera comfortably and enjoy the experience. So I have to get used to this space and learning what I can do with this space. Layer number 3 inside of that is, okay, interviewing. How do you interview somebody? What do you ask? When do you ask? How much do I want to talk about? How much do I want to talk myself versus letting the other person talk? If I have somebody who's not a talker, how can I get more out of them, knowing that both of us are not talkers, so one of us has to lead the conversation? And obviously that would be my job as a host, would be to lead the conversation. That's a skill that's a skill that will only come when I get people. So I can't even work on that skill as much right now. That's a layer that I can't even touch, and I'm not going to worry about it. And the last layer then is inviting more successful people that are out of my league to talk to me. And I think that's going to be the hardest part, is inviting people that are out of my league to talk to me, because I'm probably never going to feel confident that I can do that. I'm never going to feel confident that they want to talk to me and I have a value to them for talking to me. Because that's all it is, right? There needs to be a value for us to talk. There needs to be a reason for us to talk, right? No one's gonna come talk to me just to shoot the shit in this situation, right? I'm just giving you kind of like the thoughts that I go through, right? I'm not self-deprecating. I'm not making light of like what I am. I'm not trying to underestimate or diminish what I'm trying to do. I'm just telling you these are the thoughts that I go through in order to figure out what is my next immediate goal that I'm built for. What is my next immediate goal that I can do that's within my capacity, that resonates with me? I am built for that. I can do it. And if I can't do it right now, I'm just going to push that off to the next to later. So that is the idea of what are you built for? What are within your limitations right now? What is within your capacity right now? What are you able to do at this point in time so that you're one step closer to your end goal? And if you don't know that, take some time to think about it. Take some time to work through things. I already told you guys, right? Year 25 of my life is coming to a close in about 4 months, 3.5 months. And I spent an entire year trying to do different things, right? A lot of people are like, oh, you might have wasted an entire year. Or I feel like I wasted an entire year because I've seen other people achieve success in such a shorter amount of time than I have. And I'm like, I try to replicate that and it doesn't work. So I feel like I'm wasting time. Like, what am I doing wrong? Am I just not built for this, right? I go through, oh, this is something I want to talk to you guys about. I cannot believe I forgot about it. When you figure out something that you're not built for, right? If you realize after doing something, you're like, this is just not for me. I no longer want to do this, and I no longer can foresee myself wanting to do this in the future. That's fine, right? No one's going to crucify you for trying. No one's going to crucify you for making an attempt. And then only through the activity or only through the attempt can you realize that this is not for me. And so you did that, and kudos to you, because half the people, more than 90% of people can't do that. More than 90% of people won't even try. More than 90% of people won't even take the first step to do it because they're afraid. But you, even though if you were afraid, you still took the first step. You tried, it didn't work out, you didn't like it, don't have to worry about that anymore. You just eliminated another door. You have less doors that you have to choose from now. You know, if you're not built for it, that's fine. Go try something else that you are built for. You not being built for one thing will open up the possibility for you being built for another. You know, that's how you experience life. That's really how you experience life, is trying these new things and always trying to try new things. This was more of a rambling one, wasn't it? I apologize. I will try and plan the next one better. I didn't plan this podcast out as detailed as I would have liked, as much as I enjoy the topic. Maybe I'll bring back this topic once I have more time to simmer on it. But I hope you did enjoy this episode. I hope you got something out of it. I hope maybe it evoked some sort of thought or emotion in you to then take stock of your own life, your own goals, your own shape, your own building, your own, whatever you're doing right now. That being said, I appreciate you listening to the End Goal podcast. I am very grateful for you. I'm very appreciative of you. I do appreciate that you have taken the time on this day to listen to me talk about these things, even if it's not what you would have originally intended. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, always feel free to leave them in the comment section of any podcast, or head over to Instagram at EndGoalPodcast if you want to talk to me about anything. I'm still working on my own goals. I'm still working on trying new things daily. I'm still working on trying to continue things that I've started in the past. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm built for every single day. And maybe in this year of 25, I haven't figured it out, but maybe in a different year I will. I'm not going to be super upset about that. I'm not going to beat myself up about that. I don't want you to beat yourself up about that either. If you know what you're built for at this point in time, I love that for you. And I hope that you can take that and be as successful as you want to be. If you don't know what you're built for, that's completely fine. Keep working at it. Keep trying new things. Keep doing new things. And then one day it'll click. I promise you that. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.